me adjust my camera real quick, you feel me? No, I'm playing, but what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Late Show. Glad you tuned back in. I hope you come to learn something today. You know what I'm saying? This is a different cut. I got a lot of straight hair cuts, so this is gonna be a good one. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would be trying to hate, you know what I'm saying I can't cut straight hair or something. But anyway, we're gonna fix that right now. So I'm doing a low taper today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this guideline in, right where his ear, you know, like toward the top of his ear. I'm gonna clear that panel out. I'm gonna go to the back, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna just clear this panel out. Set this guideline in, make sure I'm setting my guidelines in nice and neat. Clear the panel out. And I'm gonna take the foils. I'm gonna take the shaver and I'm gonna just hit this, make it low as possible so we can get the most transition possible, which gives you the best fade possible. If you watch my videos, you know I said that multiple times. This is a band today though, I ain't gonna lie to you. So right here, I'm just taking a number 3. I'm gonna take it up to like, so somebody had cut his crown off previously, you know what I'm saying? So I just took it up to it. I'm gonna take this number 3 up right up to like the crown area. Make sure I don't cut into the bolt. I'm gonna just continue to go over it to make sure all the hairs are one desired length, the length that I want it to be. So everything is the length, everything is the same length, everything looks the same. So I'm doing this so I can like set it in and get ready to come in and fade. Make sure that when you're coming up into the bolt though, you flick out so that you don't dig into it, because you don't want to cut too far into the bolt. You're gonna destroy your haircut. You're gonna make somebody look crazy. So make sure that you're flicking out. Either flick out or just stop underneath of it, because you can always do it with your shears. For the clippers, you know my liners are Babyliss Skeleton FX. These are Wall Seniors, and I got the lid from 245, and I got the power clip on there from 245. Shout out to Chris Bossy on the 245 family. Elegance got some good gloves, bro. I miss Elegance gloves. Looking at this. I'm just prepping, like getting into that bulk. I'm just prepping for when I come in with my shears. I'm just laying that foundation, so when I come with the shears, it's easy. But just continue to go over this hairs that I'm cutting. I'm gonna continue to go over them to make sure they're all the same length, to make sure that I'm setting myself up perfect for this fade. And then I'm setting myself up perfect from cutting the small hairs to fading to doing the lineup and making it crispy as possible. So right here, I'm gonna just go up about ½ an inch, and then I'm gonna go open halfway and close, slowly coming down on the fade, slowly nudging my clipper down to take these lines out. I'll take this line out, and then I'm gonna hit this beard. It's gonna be the same thing, but I'm gonna go open, and I'm gonna slowly nudge my clipper down, but instead of going down, I'm gonna go up to take the line out. Now I got the number 1 guard on, and the same thing, I'm gonna go over about ½ an inch. Just make sure that I'm flicking out, and then coming in and laying my blade flat. After I flick out, then I'm in the same steps. I'm gonna go open halfway and close, slowly coming down on the fade to where I'm softening this line as much as possible so that I can come in with the 0 guard and take the line out completely. So this is 0 guard, and I'm gonna just nudge the bottom of it and do corner work. I use a 0 guard as a detail guard, so I'll do a lot of detail work with it. So really I just use my corner as a 0 guard a lot. Which you really don't even need a 0 guard, you can do it with clipper open. I just like how the 0 guard feel. So this is a 1.5, I'm gonna just blend this 1.5 right up into that 3 or 2 open, whatever I had on the guard before. I think it was a 2 open. And I'm just gonna open halfway and close, right up under where I left off with that 2, and slowly nudge my way down to where I left off with that 1.5. I mean that 1 open. So here I'm back in with the 1 open. I'm gonna just do detail work. I'm gonna just hit these lines that I see and finesse these dark spots. Use the corner of my blade, open and closing my lever, do a lever plan. Just getting that detail in there. So here's the back. I'm gonna go up about a full inch in the back because we got a lot more room to work with in the back. So we can play a little more. So I'm gonna go up about a full inch, flicking out at first, and then lay my blade flat. And then it's the same process. I'm gonna go blade open, and I'm gonna slowly close my blade and slowly come down on this fade. So close the blade, come down on the fade. You feel me? Bars. And on the back, if you watch some of my other videos doing a taper, in the back I like to do one side and the other. So I like to fade one side out and then fade the other side out. So here's the number 1. I'm gonna go same thing, up about a full inch. Set this guideline in, set it in nice and neat, make sure that it's even. And then I'm gonna go open halfway and close. So you see I just did one side, now I'm coming to the other side. And then I'm gonna fade one side out, and then I'm gonna fade the other side out. Just make sure that when you're fading out, so say I fade one side out, if I fade the right side out, I'm just remember where I left off. I actually have my blade closed right there. I did it different this fade, I remember, because he has real thick hair. So I closed my 1 all the way. So that first guideline I set in was the blade closed all the way, and then this is the blade open. So now I'm just gonna blend in between them. I'm gonna just close my clipper halfway and blend in between them. But like I said, I like to do one side first and then the other. So if I fade the right side out, I'm gonna fade the left side out. I'm just remember where I left off at. So here I'll explain here. So I got the 0 going on. You see that I'm working on this right side. And I'm just gonna go open halfway and close and work this right side out. So when I see the right side is smooth, I know where I left off. Like I know where I hit with the certain increments. You feel me? So now I just gotta make sure that I take those same steps that I did on that right side and apply it to the left side of the set. And then here goes the 1.5 again. And I'm gonna just blend right up into that 2 open. And I'm gonna go open halfway and close and slowly, just like everything else, I start with the open, and as I close my lever, I come down on the fade. So this side is gonna be the exact same thing. So I'm gonna go blade open, I'm gonna set the guideline in like ½ inch. I'm gonna slowly close my blade down, slowly come down on the fade. So I up fade and then I down fade. And I'm gonna put the one guard on. I'm gonna go open, flick out, you know what I'm saying, establish my guideline, and then I'm gonna slowly close my lever, slowly come down on the fade. Then I'm gonna put my half guard on, my 0 guard, and I'm gonna do some detail work to finish taking that line out. And then I'm gonna put my 1.5 guard on. I'm gonna go open up into where I left off with the 2, and then I'm gonna slowly close my blade and slowly come down the fade. And then I'm probably gonna do detail work with the number 1, just open, just lever playing, doing detail work, taking out dark spots. And that's really how I fade. Like I love my system. That's a system that like I built myself. Just came up over my head. That's what works for me. That's what like the shots that I put up, the repetition I have with that is like I can literally do that with any cut. I can do that with any cut, any hair texture. I can do the same system, and it's gonna work for me every time because I've done it so much and I know my system. Like, I know my guards and I know hair. Like at this point, I just know hair. I know hair textures. It don't matter what hair texture. I just know it. And that's not cocky. That's all glory to God. Like without God, I'm nothing. I'm humble at Jesus' feet. So I just had to throw that in there because I know people gonna be talking. But you see this fade coming together smoothly. But it's like, develop a system that you don't have to copy everybody. Like, take a little bit of piece from everyone and apply it to your craft. So here I had already did a C cup. I was in the way of the camera. I had to be, or else I wouldn't cut it out. But I'm just lining the back of his beard, keeping it real straight. Then I'm gonna line his line around his ear is pretty straight already, so I'm trying not to dig it. Just don't dig into it. I'm just tapping it in, making it real nice and crispy. Come around his ear. When I come around his ear, my blade is flat right now. When I come around his ear, I'm just use the corner of my blade, the edge of my blade. I'm gonna clean around his ear real good. Make that line real crispy.
No brainer entertainment.
No meat, just sauce.
Yeah, I really can use my system. I can really use my system on any hair texture at this point. I cut every hair texture. I don't feel like it's a hair texture I haven't cut or can't cut and lace and get right, like super right. Like y'all know how lake phase gets down, man. Y'all know what lake phase does. I can do that on any hair texture. Bring people back to life for real. Glory to God. I love this game, man. Like for real, I really love this game. It's fun to me. It's so fun to me. So right here, I'm just tapping this vertical bar. He doesn't line the front, obviously. He has long veins. And then I'm gonna set this C cup in. When I set my C cups in, I start at the top. I set it in, and then I work my way from the bottom, and I even them up. So I start at the top. I set it in where I want it. I go to the bottom. I tap it in, and then I meet them in the middle. Mad I had to sell my 245, man. I low-key should have kept it though. So my fault. I'm probably gonna get another one though. So I'm just tapping his mustache in. You know, his mustache is kind of little already, so it's like just tap the top of it, don't push it down, line up with his lip. So here, man, y'all see that fade busting naturally. Lake fades don't need no enhancements. Lake fades use enhancements to enhance a cut. You feel me? That's what everybody got to get on. This is all natural. So right here, you know, I'm just damping his hair so that I can come in and do shear work. So when I do shear work, I brush it all the way to one side, and I start at the side of his head and I angle it with his head, and then I just cut straight up to where it's gonna make a square shape. Cause men, like, well, you gotta have a masculine shape as a man. You gotta like round head. Like, you're not gonna get respect out here in these streets. You know what I'm talking about? But for real, men are supposed to have more square heads. It's just more masculine. You can't walk around. You don't want to send your client. Like, as a barber, you got to know what looks best for your clients. You got to know, like, you can't send nobody off. So, you know, it's all about knowing hair and hairstyles and everything. So I cut straight up on the side, and then every time I come more to the middle, I take less off so that I leave the middle a little bit longer, but it blends in perfectly to where if he does brush it to one side, either side he brushes it to is blended in perfect. But he brushes it to the right, so it's like I'm gonna cut it more so that it fades better in or blends better into the right. But I also take it to the left and I cut it that way too, just to make sure that it's not no real long extra laying hairs on one side of his head, because it's like that just looks goofy. But I'm just keeping everything real consistent. You know, you can see it. I'm taking the same amount off every time I come. Every time I go back, I'm taking the same amount off. But you leave a little bit more in the crown areas because you don't want it to stick up. I'm dropping real gems right now. I hope y'all picking them up. This is probably my best tutorial, just teaching. I'm snapping. And it's the same thing. Like I said, on this side, so I'm getting more to the side. So I'm not going to take as much off. Especially this is the side that he brushes over, so I'm trying to leave this side a little bit longer, but you just don't want to leave it too much longer because you don't want somebody out here to look goofy. There I'm just cleaning up around. That's just detail work. That's extra. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be like explaining academy type stuff. When I get an online course, like that's gonna be the extra details that my online course is gonna provide over my YouTube channel. Remember, God is in the details, and details is what sets you apart. So God is what sets you apart. But to be as detailed as possible, that is key. That's what people gonna remember you by. Here, I'm not trying to make it no real straight bangs. I'm just trying to cut his bangs a little bit so they're not hanging down in his face. He brushes his hair sideways anyway, so I'm really just tapping them to where you can see he got them cut. But you see he also has a huge cali too, so I don't really cut him too much. And then I'm just training the hair while it's wet to stick over there. Right here I'm adding a little bit of enhancement, just in the vertical bar and the C-cup. Y'all gonna see that make a bust for real. So right here I'm just gonna tap the enhancements in. Cleaning his neck up before I do this spin around. So y'all, if y'all was able to sit through this 18-minute video with me, I appreciate y'all. You know, play face, stay getting his clients right, stay taking care of them. We don't want no hair on them. Keep them clean, cause like, so when you present the mirror to them, you want them to be as clean as possible. That's another thing that's key. I hope that's a gem that y'all better pick up. When the presentation is everything. So when you're giving a client the mirror, make sure that they're clean as possible. And they don't got no hair on their face, like everything's clean. I guess I got some detail work, some razor work in here. So I just hit the vertical part, I do the C-cup, and I'm gonna round the beard real quick. Make sure that you're creating the shape that you want to. You're a shapeshifter. Shout out to Get Beam, you know what I'm saying? But you're a shapeshifter. You create the shape, like I said in one of my last videos, that when you're doing lineups, you're literally in control. You create the shape that goes on your client. So make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you're keeping it natural as possible. So once again, if you was able to sit through this video with me, I appreciate y'all. If you came just to watch to get satisfied, I hope that this video satisfied you. If you came to learn, I hope that you learned, because I dropped a lot of gems, so I hope you picked a lot of them up. It's Lake Phase, man. Big Boss Man Lake. You know what I'm talking about? This team always advance over this way. Always advance in Christ. Always advance clothing. Always advance cuts. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And may God bless.